Hi, thanks for your order. So I am going to just walk you through one of the other ways that you can do your basic hack or highlight and contour. So when you get your order, you're going to get your tins like this and you're going to have your awesome palette. So it's easy enough just to slide the tin lid. So you just push down like so, just try and keep your fingers out of the way, and then slide your tin out and pop it in your compact. I usually order mine my brightening highlight, main highlight, my contour, and then my lip and cheek, but you can put it in any order you want. And if you have a bigger palette than you have tins, you can kind of use a second layer, do whatever you need to do that way. I like to keep my lids, or at least one lid, because then you can take the lid and you can, when you have a lineup of tins, let me put another tin in, you can actually use the lid to help you get the tin out. If you forget what color you're using or what order you put them in, the name is always on the back of the tin. So you take that little section, you put it between the two tins and you pop it up. You'll see the name, this one's Sandy, on the back. So I'm just gonna walk you through the finger painting or Cheetah HAC. I actually prefer this way when you're starting out, because the biggest thing people do is they use too much product, but feel free to do whatever you want to do to try out how to put the makeup on. There's no wrong way. It's fun. If you find you have too much on, it's easy to take off. If you're not sure, take a picture, send it to me. So you can either use your fingers and just put it right on, or you can use the small end of your brush. Now, before you start that, take your Stay Spray or whatever primer you're using and spray on your face. Okay, that's the brush cleaner. So we're just gonna pretend I didn't do that. Don't put the brush cleaner on your face. Video blooper. Okay, so put your Stay Spray on your face. You can also spray it on your Perfector sponge or your beauty blender, whatever you have, and dip it on your face, because I put a little bit too much on my face. There we go. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna let that dry for a second, and I usually like to start by using my contour as a roadmap. Now, if you didn't get a contour, just skip this step and go on to the next one. If you did get the Bella bronzer, which you should have because it's beautiful, then you can actually do this with the Bella bronzer as well and use it as your contour. It's just gonna be a little bit softer, warmer. So I'm gonna rub my fingers together. I always find if they're a little bit warmer, especially if your creams aren't somewhere where they've warmed up, you can pick up the product a little bit better. Now, contour, if you go from your high point of your eyebrow like that, you only want to use it above. You don't have to do the whole space, but that's the idea. You don't want to be coming into this triangle zone. So I'm just going to come along the hairline like so, and then along the cheekbone. I hear my kids screaming in the background, so I may get interrupted. Okay, just like that. Now, you can also come across your jawline. I like to come just back in from my jaw, so you can imagine the idea of using this along here is to create a shadow. Just don't forget to buff that out, because I've totally done that before. So that if you have an extra chin or a little extra skin here, it's gonna kind of blend it in, so you're not gonna see it as much. You put contour anywhere you would normally get shadows, it's gonna define our face. Now, this is what makes 3D, is it gives you more dimension. So if you're scared of the contour, that's fine. You don't have to start with it. Just skip that step and you will eventually become not afraid of the contour. Now, what you're gonna do now is take your main highlight. So that's the shade that you're gonna use below the contour. You're gonna use it kind of just lightly above here. You can use it on your nose if you want, and you can use it around the face this way. So I'm going to take my contour. I actually use a couple. So when I do the hack, I put little, or the Cheetah HAC, I just put little fingerprints, and then my other color that I want, I put that as well in between. So as I blend, it blends together. Now, I may have recommended 1 or 2 colors for you. It just depends. The other thing about cream makeup is it blends, and as it warms onto your face, it's ideal. So if it's a cooler day or your product is cool, sometimes I put my main shade on and then I do, you know, my eyelashes or my eyebrows, and then I'll blend because it blends easier. Just a little tip for you. So now I've got this on. I'm going to put a little bit, this is my main still, okay? Putting my main on. Obviously wash your hands before you do this. And then the brightening. Now, if I have recommended a color corrector for you, this is when you put it on. So I'm going to put a light dusting of Frenchie under my eye. So I took my ring finger. You always want to use your ring finger under your eye so you don't use too much pressure. And you just kind of dab it across the eye. So I may have recommended Mango. I may have recommended Petal, Frenchie, Sunlit, just like so. Now, if you have the Beauty Blender or the Perfector, this is where I dab under the eye, because if you are like me, you might get some wrinkles under your eye and we don't want too much product there. Okay, so then I'm going to put on my brightening shade. So I'm going to come kind of down here, here, and across. I'm above my, I should have had this slightly higher, right there. And then what you can do is put the brightening shade here and here. Now, if you want to contour your nose, I find if I'm using this finger method, I'll just kind of come right along here, connect into my eyebrows. Contouring your nose can get a little bit more complicated, or you can keep it nice and simple. If you have questions about that, just let me know and I can tell you based on your nose shape. Okay, so I've got all that product on now. I'm just gonna put, I'm a little red here because I just exfoliated, so I'm just gonna put some more right there. So you can let this kind of warm up. If you're going to do your eyeshadow, I often put my lightest shade over my lid just as a primer almost, and also to even out the colors on my eyelid. So then I've got myself set up for when I'm going to do my eyeshadow. So now that it's on my face, it's warmed up, we just need to blend. Now you can blend, some of you may have only chosen to get no brushes, just a sponge and your finger. You spray your Stay Spray on the Perfector, and then you can blend with this, starting with light colors, moving to dark. If you have your brush, I'll show you how I'll kind of do 2 different sides. So when I'm blending, I'm just kind of pushing in, stapling in the skin. We want to push the product in. You can, you know, if you do a little bit of buffing, it can help buff out. If you have bigger pores, it can help blend, but I generally find just by stapling in. Now, sometimes initially you'll feel like the first few minutes look a little yellow. Just give it a minute to warm up to your face. Cream is amazing that way, and then the magic happens. Oh, sorry, I'm doing more than one side. So starting with the light colors, blending out. Under the eye especially, we want to staple. We don't want to crease, but you can already see the magic happening there. I also forgot to put my blush on. Oops. You can, I'll do that on the other side before I blend. I tend to do my blush after, and I don't, if I'm going to work, I don't often wear a blush because I am still in masks, but so I kind of have a bad habit that way. Okay, like so, and then you can blend out. I'll try and only blend half of this. And the nose, I do like to use the Perfector just because you don't want to take everything off that you just put on. And sometimes I just kind of dull the lines with my finger, and that's all the blending I'll do on my nose. Now you can take your highlight here and here if you want. I'll show you what that looks like. So that's the brightening highlight. So that's my lightest shade. I can put here and I can put here, and then I can brighten that part of my face too. And then I'm going to blend up into my, kind of blending up into my hairline. Depends on your face shape what contour lines you want to use. If you have a wider face, you can use this way. If you have a narrower face, you can come more oblique. But play with it. It's fun. You can't go wrong with this. So you can see how awesome that looks on that side. So I could get away with just using my finger and this, especially if you wanted to start with more of a budget package. So now when I'm using the brush, again, you can push in. So this is the bronzer, blush bronzer brush. It's a little faster, I find, with the brush, but I've already set that side of my face, so I still need to set this after, so same but different. I didn't do a ton of contour, so. And just be careful, the one thing I found when I first started is I just like blended all my contour away, so you want to make sure you keep that line. We're creating that shadow to create definition. Okay, so that's pretty much done there, and then I'm going to take my perfector, beauty blender, whatever you have, and dab that so that my makeup is set. Now, if I also recommended a powder, or if you also like using a powder, any translucent powder, we have our, it's in this one, Vanilla Dust. I personally love this because it fits in my compact, so when I'm going away for the weekend, I just take that with me, and then I set my face with that as well. But any translucent powder in your T-zone, if you get oily, or if you're wearing a mask and want to protect your makeup, sometimes I put an extra layer there. But really all you need is the Stay Spray at the end. So that's how easy it is. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Oh, you know what? Don't do what I just did. I forgot to do this part. Yeah, always. You remember pretty quickly. Luckily my kids are pretty good at telling me Mommy has brown all over her face. So just like that, blending that away. If you have any questions, message me, text me, whatever, and then please send me your before and afters. I won't use them without talking to you, but just so I can see the magic or help you with any issues that I see. Anyway, super quick hack, and then of course you can get as complicated as you want with the contouring and the nose contour. So if you want more info about nose contouring, just message me and I will tag you in things or send you in the right direction.